Carl here from Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it's album review time. As the thrash frontrunners Nervosa present their new studio album, Jailbreak, out September 29th, 2023 via Napalm Records. An album that marks a new chapter in the band's history, as it's the first record featuring founding member Brrraaains as permanent vocalist. Now, it might be a new dawn for Nervosa, but the same high-powered, thrashy heaviness that has made him such a beloved name in metal is ever prevalent on this record. Don't worry, it's thrashy, it's heavy. And it kicks off with the speeding and snarling heaviness of Endless Ambition. Nervosa delivering a crunching blast of noise that shows off the vocal power of Brrraaains well. Hopefully you're all kind of getting used to her voice by now. Seeing her do it live as well, it's killer. Across the majority of the album, she's sounding devilish, and it really helps give Nervosa an extra edge. It seems as though moving into the vocalist role has revitalised the band, amongst other changes too, and that becomes more apparent with the bullish brutality of Suffocator, the thrashing mania of Ungrateful, and the hard and heavy headbanger that is Seed of Death. The latter track showcases an evolved Nervosa too, notable by the melodic introduction. It also happens to have one hell of an anthemic chorus too. Thrash fans rejoice though. Nervosa are still predominantly focused on providing fast, frenzied and furious headbangers. There is no denying that this album is certainly a showcase of intensity, and that continues into the blood-pounding title track. Nervosa then lean into more emphatic death metal territories with Sacrificed, bust heads with the devastating speed of Behind the Wall, and the bloodthirstiness of Kill or Die. It's guest time now though, as Nervosa are joined by the impressive talents of Gary Holt on When the Truth is a Lie, and Lena Scissorhands on Superstition Failed. The former, it's a meaty number, oozing dark atmosphere and featuring a blistering guitar solo, whereas the latter is as savage as Nervosa come, with Lena Scissorhands adding a threatening aura to the track. Nervosa don't need guests to make a ton of noise, but guests of this caliber certainly doesn't take away from their abilities. Abilities that continue to delight and impress as the album reaches its final stages and Gates to the Fall has a walloping great sound. Before Elements of Sin and Nail the Coffin put the boot in to anyone who still doubts Nervosa's heavy qualities. Of course, there's no one that silly out there, as Jailbreak is as headbangery as anyone could want it to be. The future has never looked brighter for Nervosa, and I think this album's a real statement record. One that says, hey, we are still heavy, we are still fast, we are still thrashy, we are still mean, we are still nasty. All of these things, but it's also like, well, this is also the future too. This is who's doing vocals. This is what the rest of the band looks like. This is how we're going to sound as we move forward. So it's a really important album for Nervosa, and I think they've nailed it. I think it's good fun all the way through. I think it shows a lot of the talent of the band off. There's some amazing riff work here. I've praised the vocals all the way through. The drums, the bass, everything is really, really strong here, and it all clicks. It all works nicely together. I didn't find myself that bored at all, and that's something that often happens with sort of thrash records and death metal records. A lot of similarities mean that I sort of end up forgetting one or two, or it just goes over my head and so on. I was quite invested in the majority of this record. So, you know, that's a good sign as far as I'm concerned. But what do you think? It's Jailbreak. It's out September 29th, 2023 via Napalm Records. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website, where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at GBHBL. Just search for GBHBL and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.